Feature drop 3 for FM24 is in. It doesn't feel like number 3. It feels like number 5 or 6. We had so many little bits of information. I've been chucking them in videos as we go. So I'm getting pretty excited about FM24. If you're getting pretty excited, by the way, make sure you use my link down in the description and code SIMAGIO24 to get it for £35.05, which is 22% cheaper than the Steam price. At Fanatical, it's a Sega approved retailer, so you're guaranteed a key. You're going to get beta access as well. So go use that code. It is in the description. You'll get it cheaper than it is on Steam, and I think it's the cheapest that's out there at the minute from an approved retailer. So make sure you go use that link down below. Now let's go have a look at what Feature Drop 3 has in store. So here we go, Feature Drop 3. I've on the Twitter page for now. Interaction upgrades for the most complete edition, yes. New player target system, more logical responses, and fine-tuned staff meetings. Read more on, oh, here it is. Say goodbye, what did I say? Say goodbye to what? Say goodbye to uncalled for overreactions. Come on. Oh, I hate it when they overreact to something. Right, individual player targets and interaction logic. Whether it's your team scoring for the 10th game in a row, your robust defense keeping another clean sheet, or your top prospect realizing their potential, there's nothing more satisfying than watching a plan come together. There can sometimes be bumps on the path to glory, slumps in form, standards dropping in training, and player unhappiness can derail your plans and force a rethink in your approach. So in FM24, you can now inspire your players to strive for more by setting targets to elevate their performance. This is interesting. So you're setting individual player targets. That's kind of cool. I like this. This is, I mean, it's realistic, right? And you can tell a player you want them to do a certain thing. So it's not quite the same as the training targets, the training adjustments. Alongside this, you may change the way you interact with your players and stuff to ensure conversations are realistic and constructive. Let's dive into the detail. I wonder if you can set targets that then relate into whether they get, you know, someone's saying I'm not getting enough games. And I say, well, if you hit an 8 in all your training, you will get in. Right. Keep your players hungry with targets. Incentivize your squad, help players. So not just the contract targets as well. Training improvements. Okay, so you can actually include those training improvements in their new position, role, traits, average ratings as well. Okay. Goals, assists, clean sheets, and the match performances for first team or reserve. We've got an image here of it. Let's go have a look at it. So training targets overview. We've got to keep a lookout for this new stuff in here. We're at Watford as always. Promises targets. So it's in here on the homepage. So these are the targets you've set for players. So for Solomon Efong, achieve an average match rating of 7.2. Progress, pleased, expected. Develop an individual player trait, devastated. Is this his? And we can see here. So Serge Matip, which is this 5 assists. Yeah, with the progress. Promise, increase playing time to fringe player upon return from loan. All right, so if they complete it, then they get the rewards, which is kind of cool. The opportunity to set a target will be available when you praise or criticize player for their recent performances, when you comment on a player leaving on loan, in contract negotiations with new signings and player renewals, or as a way of resolving a player's unhappiness. Right, that's really useful. So there's a whole host of times in which it can come into play. Bear in mind that both the player and the agent may want to negotiate it. When setting a target, the player's personality, their relationship with you, and the context of the situation are also okay. In contract discussions, offering a playing time pathway can significantly boost the player's interest in joining your club, but it can be difficult to justify whether your potential shining should be promised a regular spot in a few years. All right. So in FM24, linking closely a playing time pathway promise, you'll be able to offer a target. So you can say you'll get first team football if you hit these targets. That's useful. Like rather than just, I had a player, I wanted to give him first team football, and I said if you play well, you train well, you'll get it. This is what I wanted to say, but I couldn't say it in FM23. You can now respond with a target for the 23-24 season, sorry, 24-25 season, which could be their goals and league matches. If they were to hit that goal scoring target, you'd be expected to honor the agreement by making a regular. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder how much, let's look at the image. I wonder how much their playing time accounts for. I wonder if they get annoyed if you don't give them enough playing time and it doesn't meet their targets. It doesn't want to load the image now. Give me the image. Let's try again. Okay, that image doesn't want to load, but let's have a look what we got. I think it's just there as a promise, right? Score 15 league goals. If the player during the 23-24 season provides 15 league goals, then they will get important player in 24-25. Here we go. If playing during 24-25, so these are linked together. Important player in 24-25 if they score 15 league goals. I wonder if you can stagger them. When targets have been set, you can track how your players are progressing using the targets tab. That's what we already looked at. Where you'll also be able to monitor the players' opinions of their progress. Oh, so that's the player, how they think they're doing in regards to that progress. For loan players, any playing time plans or targets highlighted and help to make clear these only relate to their loan move. Right. Players who sign on loan, they may arrive with targets that their own parent club has set. So keeping the conditions of the loan will help that player meet their own targets. I mean, I wonder what the incentive for that is. You can offer advice through staff meetings about where they feel it's suitable for you to offer targets. If a player success, I wonder, wait, when did it say you could do them? Unhappiness, negotiations. So you can't just do it any time. Praise or criticize a player on recent performances. So you can't just do it like, I want you to score more goals. Or can you? Well, let's see. Player meets their targets such as scoring more goals, performing more assists, or achieving a strong training rating. You can congratulate them, but you may also have some promises to follow through, such as a new contract. So make sure you follow them through, keep them happy. Keeping players happy. On the flip side, if a player fails to hit their target, you'll be noticed by your player liaison officer. That is a new role. I think. No, they do exist, but they don't do so much right now. Who will explain their reaction to the target failure and who they think is to blame. It's then up to you to decide how you... Oh, who's to blame? So what if they say you're to blame? After speaking with Henry Henriksen, is he a real player? No. Henry Henriksen, I believe he is disappointed. He's a 30-year-old new gen in 2023. I believe he is disappointed that he failed to achieve his average match rating of 7. Due to this failure, he accepts that you're no longer obliged to fulfill your promise. So he got a 6-7. He got 13 appearances. So he's accepting that that's on him. If multiple players fail, you'll be given the opportunity to discuss any outstanding contentious issues directly with these players. This can arise because any issues the player has with you, which can include game time. Okay, so game time will matter, or any problems alone he has with their manager. In fail scenarios, a player can respond in different ways. If they came close to completing their target, the player might come back to you and back themselves. The player can also reference other metrics that highlight positive performance. Oh, interesting. So they might say, I didn't get assists, but I got lots of goals. Let's give me an example. Okay. For example, where they're not met the goal scoring target set, they may have recorded several assists during that period. Oh, I just preempting what it's going to say here. If injury causes the failure of a target, this is useful because sometimes injuries cause a problem. Either at early stage or at the end, the player will accept that the target couldn't be met. So if you feel your star striker needs a bit more motivation, or you want to see your youth prospect make big strides, targets give you an opportunity. I wonder how much they incentivize them. It'd be interesting if, like, your youth player, you incentivize him to do better. Better conversations with interaction logic changes. The newly added player targets part of a wider group of changes to try and make Football Manager 2024 even more immersive than previous versions, and that required some big changes under the hood to the way logic of interaction works. Okay, good, because sometimes they get annoyed when they shouldn't. It's not just new interactions added or agent. We've also looked at hundreds of other areas where having conversations with your players, the agents, try to make them more believable. Nice. We often talk about how important the suspension. I mean, this might make actually talking to players more useful. One of the big changes we had is to improvements to the string severity system, which allows either positive or negative AI response to have 3 different variants of severity. We have over 2,000 new AI responses. Okay, good. You'll witness far fewer instances of overly severe and unrealistic responses from players. Yeah, when they get annoyed to being transfer-listed or whatever. If your star striker just single-handedly led your team to victory and your team to shower their praise, they're less likely to react when they say, oh, it's just another day. Now, positive, neutral, and negative reactions are differing. Okay, so there's just more variation, which is good. Increased context reactions will be provided, so it tells you why, so you can help convince them, okay? Issues have also been resolved to address instances of unrealistic player unhappiness and provide clearer reasoning behind their concerns. So if a player is considering options at the end of their contract, their desires should be more obvious, be it the lure of continental football or waiting elsewhere. Requirements and promises are clearer, making it easier to see how your players feel about the current progress, such as promise to strengthen your defense. To complete a promise earlier, that player becomes satisfied rather than having to wait. Okay, right. So they just, that's good, because also, yeah, sometimes it can mess up. As a result of this extensive work, your interactions in FM24. I'm looking forward to that because that's kind of annoying at the minute when it goes wrong. And I think a lot of people avoid it as a result. Get the key information you need in staff meetings. We've also improved staff meetings in FM24 with them now being more customizable and surfacing the most relevant information you care about. That looks the same. Let's have a look. So this is the staff meeting. Preparation our weeklies. I've gathered the different topics. You can say you want to skip stuff in the meeting. And you can request a summary. All right, okay, you can actually be like, wow, let's skip this. If you'd rather leave recruitment to another week. Yeah, because you don't need recruitment in like, what's that, 4th of September? You don't need a recruitment meeting in 4th of September. Transfer window shut. When clicking meeting preferences, you can now customize the delivery of each staff topic. Subtopics in meetings, how often you get them. Okay, right, so it's changing. Actually, that's a good information to those meetings. All right, finally, target interaction changes, staff meetings. Bring you closer to key people at your club. Realistic conversations help you set important goals for your players. All right, so That's it for now. What do we have coming next? We should have it's next on the list. We've got another one this week. True or football. Oh, we got the in-game stuff coming this week. So we're looking forward to that. Tell you what, this has not been about, that's the first line. We've still got another line and quality of life stuff at the bottom there to come. This one I'm excited for, set pieces. I want to know what's in the gameplay deep dives. So they're showing the different modes there. So I wonder if there's other things in the other modes there. So I'm looking forward to this. If, like me, you're looking forward to FM24, once again, make sure you use that link down in the description and code Slimaggio24. You have to use the link in the description and that code. You'll get it for £35 and 5 pence from Fanatical. If you want to check out the rest of my videos that are covering the new introductions to FM24, make sure you check out this playlist right here.